Welcome to Ridge Life. I'm Tim, and today on Ramblings, guys, what a week. It has been not a great week. Matter of fact, pretty rough week. Been sick all week. Kind of started getting a headache, sinus pressure, chest congestion last weekend, and ended up pretty much being sick all week. Now, you also remember I didn't do a live stream Tuesday night, and I apologize for that. Definitely wanted to do one. Wasn't because I was sick either. We were in a maintenance shutdown and work again. Typically we do 2 of those a year. 5 days or so we shut all the facility, the process down, tear it all apart, put it all back together, do projects, make it better. And we just did one of those in October, right? Right around the time I went to Disney. Well, it's November, we did another one. And so I did like phase 2 of a big project where I was doing, converting a bunch of communication systems over from a coax to an Ethernet system. And that all went well. And I got some really good people working on it. So thank you all for that. But I was sick every day, and I was working 13 hours every day. I'd get up in the morning and it would be dark, get home and it would be dark. That's the life of, a steel engineer, right? Work long hours and do crazy stuff. But being sick sure did not help it. I was hoping it would get a little better because it wasn't that bad. But man, I was really fatigued and just down, had a hard time sleeping. Got to drink the NyQuil all night long. So today we actually have a clinic at work with a nurse practitioner. Very, very nice feature my company does. And I went and seen the nurse practitioner. Now it wasn't our normal nurse practitioner. The normal one, she's out on baby leave, and she's really, really good. We had a fill-in, and I never met her before. And apparently, she makes you have to have 10 days of symptoms before she'll give you the sinus cocktail or the Z-Pack or any of that stuff. So no sinus cocktail, no shot in the tushy to make you feel better over the weekend. She just prescribed some Flonase spray and told me to take a Zyrtec and NyQuil. So it's kind of what I was doing anyway. I was taking NyQuil at nighttime and then decongestant and ibuprofen in the daytime to get me through. But I'm fine. It's not that bad. You can probably hear it's like I'm talking through a funnel. It sounds like that in my head. But everything went well. We got started up yesterday or last night. I got home, and then today's a short day. Today I'm actually leaving before dark, and I'm gonna go jump in the deer woods. Yeah, baby, jump in them deer woods. That's what we call them down south, is the deer woods. The ridge, baby. Jen and I did some hunting last weekend, and we saw many, many deer. And unfortunately, we didn't take one. I actually watched the video. I set a 4-point walk right by us at 20 yards. I was watching the video. It was actually just a spike buck. He just had 2-point spike buck. It looked like a 4-point, when he was walking by me at 20 yards. Jen caught that one, and she said, "Hey, babe, look, there's a deer." I'm like, "What? Look at there!" 20 yards, and we're on the ground in a pop-up line. You know what I mean? And not like we're in a tree stand way up high. So we saw lots of deer, but unfortunately, them darn dogs came back. And dogs were out every single time I've been in the woods so far. Every time I've hunted, the dogs have been out, and that's not fun. That's not fun. Matter of fact, I called the sheriff. And in our neck of the woods, we don't have no animal control or dog catcher or any of that kind of thing. So the county sheriff department has a guy that's specifically assigned to animal control. And called the sheriff's department, filed a report on all those dogs. I've done it before, and they really didn't do much, it seemed. But this time I actually got a hold of them. I talked to them personally. And I told them where they were, what they were doing, and I told them how the one actually chased me down a little bit as I was walking out of the woods at nighttime. That one pit came running up on me, and then right when I turned with the gun, he kind of skidded back and turned and ran back in the woods, luckily. I mean, because he got within 10 yards of me, yeah, at a full run. Scared the bejesus out of me, I'll tell you that. But called the sheriff and filed a report, and he called me back and said, Mr. Roberts, I captured him. Well, he captured 3 of the 4. He captured 3 of the 4, and he said there was one white one that was elusive to him, and I'm like, oh, don't let it be the white one that's just giving me all the trouble. Because there's 2 white ones, one with white and brown, one with white and black. One with white and black, I think, was the worst. That was the one that came up on me fast. The white and brown one was pretty bad too. Well, I got home that night after he said he captured 3 of the. He said he couldn't capture the 4th one, and he said he found the owners. He talked to them, and the owners said they couldn't touch the dog either. Matter of fact, they said they didn't want the dog. They weren't feeding the dog. The dog was roaming free in the neighborhood, hence it's trying to hunt deer on my property and eat my rabbits and chickens. That's how all them dogs were, just left to roam, you know. They weren't really dropped off. You know, a lot of people drop dogs off, you know, out in the remote county areas. These were people that lived in the area, and they just don't feed them, don't take care of them. Their dogs have pups, and the pups just grow up, you know, in the wild, and no collars, no rabies shots, none of that stuff. So he captured 3 of the 4, and the 4th one. So that night, you know, I get home late at night, right? And I see it. I see the dog, and it was in a parking lot of an old burned down church that borders the Ridge property. And it was there. So the next morning, I get up just like 5 hours later. Yeah, no sleep. No rest for the wicked, right? Ooh, baby. I'm not wicked. I get up, and guys, the dog is in that parking lot, and he's got a little dog bed. Apparently, they bought a dog bed for him, and he pulled it out, or they threw it out in the middle of that parking lot. This is a random abandoned parking lot of an old burned down church. And it's sleeping in this bed, and I pull up on it going, man, if I can get a rope on it or something, I can call the. Well, I get up on it, and sure enough, I can't get nowhere near this dog. But it's the dog with the white with brown ears. So I'm hoping the black one, the brown one, and the white with the black eye are gone, because that would be awesome. Because those are the ones that are really giving me the most grief. The white with brown, I've seen it twice out there chasing deer. Yep, chasing deer. But sheriff department called and took the trespassers away. Don't come back on my property, doggies. Don't come back. Not that they're going to listen, that's for sure. And that's what they are. They're trespassers, right? They are unwanted individuals on our property. I mean, they're not humans, of course. And the other trespassers, let's just hope that stay away too, because you're not welcome. You've been warned. You've been warned. Been warned more than once. Don't come back. Don't touch my property. Don't take my property. Don't damage my property. Don't mess with my stuff. And I won't do anything to you. I won't come on your property. I just don't want no more of it. No more of it. Can't we all just get along? So I'm going home right now, and I am going to jump in the stand. Actually, I'm going out to the pop-up blind that me and Jim been hunting out of. It's in the back 30 where I don't normally hunt. But guys, with the trespasser situation and the tent I've got, you know, with all my stuff in it next to the one blind, and the field all cleared out by the dozer. Yes, dozer. Tim, you ain't got no dozer out there. Dozer did clear the field, which kind of opened up the end where I hunted. You know, it was an enclosed field, and I had 2 tree stands on that enclosed field. Now that field opens all the way up to the road. So when you're in the stand, you can actually see a house and stuff, you know. More than a legal distance to hunt from a house, but you can still see it. I just gotta be careful not to shoot any in that direction or anything. There's no hill or trees or anything. But so this hunting on the back 30 now, I'm really thinking about building a tiny hunt house. A tiny hunt house, an elevated tiny hunt house. It's not priority, I know, guys. It's not going to be, you know, but this is future plans. I'd love to buy a redneck blind, because redneck blinds, that makes some super awesome blinds. But if I build a tiny hunt house, I could have a bed in there and a propane heater, a little stove. You could sleep in the hunt house, get up the next day, and I would make elevated windows, access windows. You could step up on benches around the walls, hunt elevated, and never have to leave. You know, we can scent control it, get it all sealed off and everything. And guys, once the deer get used to something in the woods like that, they're fine with it. You know, the bucks roaming during the rut. That's why you have to make it look very, you know, inconspicuous. But if you create long shooting lanes, like 75-yard, 100-yard shooting lanes, them deer ain't gonna care about that hunting shed. So I have a really tight area for the crossbow hunting, for bow hunting, and then have a couple shooting lanes opened up, because I am going to clear a lot of the mid-ridge property with a dozer and a excavator when I go to build the barn dominium. Was going to build the barn dominium closer to the old ridge property. Not going to do that anymore. I'm going to create a good distance away. You know, I kind of originally wanted to see the old barn and the old pond and the old, you know, that, you know, because it's beautiful. It really was. One of the things I fell in love with when I bought it. But not no more. Now I'm going to build it farther away, keep the tree line thick, and have some more privacy. And so that I'm gonna clear the center top of the ridge. Now, our property there on the ridge, it's 30.45 acres, 30 and a half acres. It is some of the highest property in elevation in the county. I was actually told by the person I bought it from, or bought the first property from, not that property, that the top of that ridge is the highest elevation in our county. And you don't, you know, all my friends from Arkansas come down and said, Tim, where's the ridge? We don't see no stinking ridge. Well, here we go. Him power, baby. We don't see no stinking ridge. Well, it's because it's when you drive up, it don't look very elevated. When I fly the drone up, you can see the elevated ridge. But what really makes it a ridge is the gulches and ravines. When you go out on the ridge property, there are gulches and ravines 30, 40 feet deep. Big, expansive ravines. So when you get down in there and look up, and then it elevates, guys, it looks pretty big. Ask David and Mike from Drifting Dreamers and Come On Homestead. They've seen it. And I just love it. I love it out there. So on that elevated ridge, we'll clear out probably 5 acres. Probably 5 acres. That way I have the barn dominium on the south side. Gonna have a solar field on the east side facing south, I believe, or west side facing south, whichever one's best for the solar. I forget from how our arrangement is. You know, and then hunting on the north, and I'll have stands, box blinds, and stuff. You know, like this hunt shed I'm talking about, the elevated hunt shed, tiny hunt shed, and of course we'll fence in part of it for animals. And then should have 3 livestock fields. The way I want to do is have 3 livestock fields so I can rotate the horses, the hair sheep, and the cattle. Of course, donkeys in there, livestock guardian, you know, donkeys and stuff. Of course, have chickens and rabbits next to the barn. I'm not really a pig guy, you know. I'm not really goats, but now that I didn't want goats before because I didn't want them jumping on my cars and stuff and everything. But if I'm going to have these fenced-in areas, and if you do it right, you can keep your goats in. And goats are very cute too. So I have to look into more about goats. You know, and they say goats are way easier to take care of than sheep. Sheep are a lot less. They're less hardy, but they're more docile. They're not as ornery as them goats are. But there are some health issues with sheep you have to be careful of. Hair sheep are awesome though. Dorpers, Katahdins. So yeah, it's been a really rough week. Didn't get to hunt at all this week. Of course, obviously working 13 hours a day. Not feeling good. I feel like I'm talking through a tunnel. Never get enough of that American horsepower, baby. Man, the leaves. A lot of the leaves have fallen off the bigger, the trees, but some of them, the elms and the maples, beautiful oranges and reds and yellows and golds. Most of the oaks have dropped their leaves now. I feel the red oaks still have theirs on, looks like. But the white oak have all dropped, and the acorns are good this year. So a lot of deer in the woods. That's kind of the reason why I'm hunting more in the woods on that back 30, because the acorns are kicking. So, acorns, they run in seasons. It seems like you have a really good crop, and sometimes you have a really bad crop. Now, when the acorns are in season, the deer stay in the tree lines. And when they're not in season, they got to get out in them fields more. And of course, they'll still go out in the soybean field, the corn fields, and all that stuff. And that's why we got such really good deer population right here, because we have a lot of soybean and corn, grain sorghums, and so a lot of food for the animals. And of course, all the oaks we have with all the acorns. It's just an optimal place for deer. And that's why we have so many deer, where I can take 2 bucks. Now it's 3. And actually have a bonus buck program. If you check one in, get it tested for CWD, chronic wasting disease, and it's positive, or any deer positive, you can get a bonus buck. So I can get more than 3 bucks. And then of course we can shoot or harvest 3 doe every single day of season, and the season lasts 2.5, 3 months here. Of course, I'm only getting to hunt, a few days a week. Of course, when Thanksgiving comes here, I'll be hunting Thanksgiving week. I get a couple days off for that. I'll be hunting Christmas. I've got a few more days off. I'll take some vacation and start clearing the field, burning those tree piles, and start working on that barn foundation. It's really a goal for mine here towards the end of the year, is to get that started, and which means I'll be getting the dozer video out, because that's kind of what I was timing that for. But guys, I'm getting close to home. I'm looking in the fields here for deer to see if they're out yet. I don't see them out. Right here is where I almost always see deer. See these fields right there? Almost always see deer right here. So, ooh, man, this field over here to the left, winter wheat. Guys, a green field of winter wheat, nothing more beautiful in a desolate winter. All the trees are losing their leaves and everything, and look out into a field of bright green. Winter wheat coming in is just gorgeous. I mean, it's just gorgeous. When you got a field on one side with the round hay bales, and the field on the other side with the winter wheat coming in, it makes you love living out in the country. God's country is beautiful. I love here in Tennessee. A lot of beautiful places in the United States. Tennessee is just one of them. I know the mountains of central and eastern Tennessee are just gorgeous. Mountains in Arkansas, where my family's at. And the pine trees down in Mississippi with 3 Mississippi is gorgeous. And, lots of good friends up in Missouri, where I grew up. Beautiful area in the Ozarks up there. But I'm here in Tennessee, and I'm loving it to death. Real quick, before I leave, I want to tell you about some upcoming plans. Talking to my dad. Dad lives in Connecticut. He's retired. Got a lake house in Vermont. I went vacation there. Hopefully y'all have seen that trip from a year or so ago. Well, Jen and I are talking about planning a winter vacation up north. You're like, Tim, why would you want to go up north in the winter? Because in Vermont, we snowmobile. So go on a snowmobile vacation. The lake Bomoseen, freezes over in the winter, and they do ice fishing. Little shanties out there on the water, do some ice fishing. And then, so we're talking about meeting my brothers and sisters, dad up there and everything. And Jen and I probably spend the night in the Smoky Mountains, a little cabin on the way there, spend a night there, then making our way up to the northeast, spend most of the week up there, and then go back via Niagara Falls. I've been to Niagara Falls twice, and Never been there in the wintertime. I bet it is a winter wonderland. I bet it's magical with all the ice from all the spray from the falls in the winter in February. So looking forward to that. I'll be taking the Beast. We'll be driving in that four-wheel drive. Put that trimmer to the test. I know if it's ice on the road, don't matter what you're driving, but if it's just snow, ain't gonna hurt that trimmer to go right through that snow. It says up high. Well, guys, I love every single one of you, and wish me luck on today's hunt, and wish me luck on feeling better this weekend. Jin is coming down this evening, and hopefully bright and early in the morning we'll be out in the deer woods getting us a deer. I'd love to shoot a deer while Jin's with me, and she can experience that with me, and one day she'll get to get her own deer on the ridge. That would be a super amazing thing. So guys, until next time, I hope everyone has a blessed day. Keep rambling and go Ridge Life.